Hey y'all, how are you going? Y'all, I really want to attempt like this vlog life, but I can't. Just I don't know, video like vlogging. I don't know. I really want to do it, y'all, and I guess I need to stop making excuses because I've been wanting to vlog since I don't know, really wanting to do it when my second child was like 1 years old and she's six now. So I just keep making excuses. Story of my life, huh? No, it's not the story of my life because there is power in what you speak. So I could put my mind to anything as long as it's the will of God, right? So I have Serenity here. She's sleeping. She's so big, y'all. Look at her. Look at this bigums. She almost 4 months and getting that usual baby baldy. My other three kids just left. Hubs took them over to their grandparents' house. I had business meetings today. Two business meetings back to back, so my brain is kind of like, and I'm just sitting here kind of unwinding and watching YouTube. And what y'all been watching lately on YouTube, by the way? I've been watching a lot of like money videos, entrepreneurial videos. I've been watching a lot of Anthony O'Neill. He talks. He's the guy that doesn't believe in a credit score, and so he had a relationship series that he just posted last week, and my husband and I watched it together, and it was actually really good. It's about singles, but I never had a single life, so I don't know what that feels like. I mean, I've been with my husband since I was 14, so I've never had a single life. So it's very interesting to watch because, you know, these are conversations that need to be had, especially for even married people that never were single. Like, we got together really young. So I watched his series, and his some things I don't agree with, but that's usual. You're not going to agree with everybody and what their preferences are in their life, but it's their life. They have to live it the way that they want to. But that relationship series was really good and makes you think, even as a married couple, because now I look at it like, would I want to be married to me? So even though I am married, would I want to be married to who I am? Like, would I marry, if I was a man, would I marry me? Right? And if I marry, would I marry a, oh, no, let me rephrase that. Would I marry a man that's like me right now, where I am in life? And I don't really think I would. Like, I would say, no, bro, you got some more stuff you have to get together, and maybe we can talk later on down the road. So, and it's the truth. So I've been watching a lot of relationship videos because I think that's where I am, and God is really dealing with me as far as relationship. I ordered a lot of books recently in this past month, just to kind of help me heal, because I think that's where I am. That's where God wants to work on me at, is healing in relationship. So relationship with him, reconciling with him, and my relationship with God, reconciling with myself and my identity, and understanding who God wants me to be. So my relationship with myself, and then my relationship with people. So my husband, my children, my parents, my siblings, my, like, just people, because how we interact with people and even the relationships that we have right now says a lot about what we're going through internally. I don't know, my husband coming in the house or not. But I ordered a lot of books. I ordered Michael Todd's Relationship Goals. I ordered R.C. Blake's Jr., The Father Daughter Talk. I ordered his Queenology book. I ordered his Soul Ties book. I also ordered another Soul Ties book with Kenyon and, oh my God, I can't remember her name, but their last name is Martin. And they are on Instagram, and they talk all about toxic relationship and healing from that and stuff. So I ordered quite a few relationship books last month without even realizing what I was doing. So that's how I know that God is trying to speak to me about reconciling and being in relationship and how to be in relationship. And I know internally I have to heal from a lot of things, because for a long time I prayed for, throughout my life, people have come and gone, and I could never understand why. And it had me at a point where I was really broken, and I just didn't want to deal with people, because the people that I thought were close to me are my best friends. They betrayed me pretty much, and I was always left to seem like the bad guy. So then it went from that to asking the question of, okay, like once I started to allow my God to heal me and search my heart and everything like that, I began to question, okay, why am I attracting these people? Why am I attracting these relationships? Why is my marriage like this? Like, why is me and my husband relationship? Like, why do I have this relationship with my parents? Like, I stopped playing the victim and I began to ask questions so I can heal, because we are made to be in relationship with people. We are made to have companionship. We are made to love, and that means love other people. Like, God didn't make us to love material things. He didn't make us to love money. He didn't make us to love like ourselves in a selfish way. He made us to love people. That's like one of his number one things, is to love unconditionally. So I had to understand like why my relationships were the way that they were, and why I was not keeping people, even good people that I thought, we would have a good relationship, and stuff in common, friendships, somehow they would end. And I wouldn't talk to that person for a while. So then I began to realize it was my own personal issues that I was dealing with from childhood, which is very important to understand that the way we are in relationship now has a lot to do with things we've gone through as a child. And, emotionally, my parents, I was abandoned, I was rejected, I felt entitled, they've embarrassed me, they've shown that they felt ashamed of me. They were never satisfied with anything that I did, so that turned into me wanting to have validation from them as an adult. So yeah, I was dealing with all of that stuff. So when y'all hear people say they grew up in a 2-parent household and you think everything is good, that's not always the case, because I had both my parents. They were both entrepreneurs. They were there. Pastor's wife. I'm an only kid. I'm the pastor's kid. Made good money, owned properties, all this stuff. That does not mean that you're good. I grew up to be like very toxic in my mind and just hurt and dealt with pain because I didn't know why my parents just wouldn't show any type of interest in me. Everything was always do this, do that, or like it was kind of like a or else type of thing. Like, if you're not doing what we're asking you to do, I don't care about anything else that you got going on. So that's pretty much how I went through my adult life. And like I'm saying, like I'm old, y'all. I'm only 33, but through my 20s are definitely going to be my testimony, because once I turned 30, that's when my healing really began. And it's actually when I left my father's church and joined another church, and that's a whole nother story. But that's when my healing began, because I was in a place where I could see God and begin to allow him to work on me. And y'all, it hurts. It's tough. You have to get over yourself. You have to like heal wounds, and y'all know how it is when a wound is healing. First it hurts. It's the initial cause of the wound, and then you have to deal with the pain for a couple days, and then as it begins to heal, it hurts. The skin is stretching, it itches, sometimes the scab will come off, and you have to heal that wound again, and you reopen the wound. And so there's a lot to that process, and I can really say that that's what I've been going through. Like, God has really been healing these areas in my life, and sometimes I take the scab off and have to re-heal again and some more, or revisit some areas and gotta apply some ointments, or I gotta dress that wound a little bit better so it heals better this time, right? As if I had to use analogies, is that what they're called? So that's what I've been going through. And I believe that God is moving right now in my life in relationship. And I'm so thankful, y'all. Like at first, when change is happening and you're so used, like subconsciously, you're so used to being a person that you naturally do things that are so toxic and it's just normal to you. And that's how I was living. And, I just surrendered everything to God over and over and over and over, because surrendering is doing it over and over and over, like dying daily over and over and over is a real thing, because we have the choice to live the same and be the same or revisit things, or we have the choice to die to God and surrender and let him continue to do his work. And that's where I've been. So yeah, I've been reading quite a few relationship books and reconciling with myself and really allowing God to speak to me and help me understand what it is that he's trying to do. And I know I need relationship, especially for what he is calling me to. I need people, but I have to make sure that I'm whole and I'm in a good place and I'm one and I'm aligned with the identity of Christ before he will begin to open up any of these doors for me, and before he will begin to manifest different things in my life. And, ultimately, I just want to make sure that I'm in a place where I'm planted and I can discern and I can hear his voice and know when it's him and when it's not him. Because I've even been in situations where, things seemed good, people seemed good, and that didn't mean it was good for me. And it was only because I was still broken that I would go seek out relationships and get involved in things that I shouldn't, that it wasn't a part of my plan, but because I wanted the relationship so bad, because I wanted the companionship so bad, just to feel loved and accepted so bad, I would get involved in things. And I've actually done that in business, because I know my calling is to entrepreneurship. I'm called to be an entrepreneurship and to be a wealthy entrepreneur. And I found myself at times joining businesses, in direct sales or MLM, just to be in relationship with people, just to feel like I was accepted, just to feel like I had things in common with somebody else, just to be able to get on accountability calls and just to have somebody call and check on me and say, what do you need? And that was the wrong way to do it. So that's why I was not successful in those things, because if I was whole in me and whole with God and knew who I was and had a good relationship with God and myself, once I got into this business, it wouldn't have been about just trying to be around people. Yes, you want to be around like-minded people, but there's two different things to that. People get into things for community, just to grow and evolve. And in my case, I was joining these businesses just to feel accepted, to feel loved, to not feel rejected, to not feel abandoned. And I had already failed from the very beginning. So, So, my fat right here. So, sorry, mama. So, yeah. So, I just wanted to get on here and chat with y'all. Was it my intentions to talk about relationship? No, but just, it's what I'm going through right now. It's what I'm experiencing right now, and that's just my life. Like, I'm not gonna get on here and flaunt and act like I got so much other stuff going on. I do. And God is really opening doors for me as far as me being an entrepreneurship, but I know he would not do it if I'm not at a certain level. So as I heal and allow him to do his work and I evolve and I elevate, he will begin to open doors. But if he opened all of the doors right now, I would just ruin everything, right? So he knows, God knows, God knows, God knows, God knows, always God knows. So what else been going on? Even like not just about relationship. Well, yeah, it's still about relationship, but even my relationship with money, how I think about money, how I use money, so that's why I've been watching a lot of financial videos and budgeting and disciplining myself, because I told God, I'm like, God, I'm just ready. I don't want to be broke anymore. I want to get out of debt. I want to save. I want to live financially according to your word and your kingdom. And God says that we are not to be a slave to the lender. We are to be the lenders and not the borrowers. And he says, like, a wise man leaves an inheritance for their children, for their legacy. We take care of them. We have multiple streams of income. All of this is Bible, y'all. And that is what I'm ready for, because I can proclaim God and confess, I'm for God, I love God, but does the fruit of my life say that I am aligned in that? And I said to God, I'm just like, Lord, I want to be debt free. Help me to discipline myself. Help me to do things and stick to it. Help me to become the person that is living life truly to your word and your scripture. So, yeah, I'm like, Lord, whatever it takes, I get over myself. I ain't making no excuses no more. I'm willing to do whatever, make the money I need to make so I can become debt free. Just whatever you need me to do, because I know that this is my life and this is what I'm supposed to have. So, yeah, that's my short little vlog. I guess a vlog doesn't necessarily mean that I gotta be walking around showing y'all around and everything like that. Nope. And also, I have my eyes on a house, and my family and I have been praying for this house for the past year, and I think it's time to start making the necessary moves to get this house and get the keys in my hand. So I've also been working and praying about that, but more detail about that later on down the road. So I did not say how are you glowing in the beginning of this video, but how are you glowing? And join me, you guys, over on Fearless Money Inc. on Instagram, because I'm putting my focus back there. And it's all about being a resource to position families to build legacy, mental, emotionally, and spiritually, financially. Legacy for their family, because we think money when we think legacy, but it is about mental and emotional and spiritual legacy, because without the right mindset, without being able to control your emotions, without God, there's no money. Like, we don't, like, you got your mind have to be right, to manage money properly. So Fearless Money Inc. on Instagram, providing resources and everything like that to help families position themselves, especially during a time like this, like what we're going through. The world is just, I'm not going to say crazy, but God already knew these things were going to happen. He knew that in 2020, COVID-19 was going to come, and there's nothing that God does not have his hands on. And he knew that this whole racial injustice situation and all this stuff would begin to come out just through one man being killed. And we've seen it so many times over the years, all these African American men and women being killed by the hands of police officers for no good reason. And nothing this big has happened. So God is just like, y'all, here I am. Just giving y'all a little glimpse of here I am. So, it's pretty interesting. And to discuss this, at first I was kind of quiet about everything. And when my husband first told me about it, did I see the video with, George Floyd being, and I don't know if I'm supposed to say his name in this video, but with him and the situation happening, at first I was like, nope, I don't want to hear it. Kind of like a I don't care mentality, because I had not seen anything yet or heard anything. But then once it began to become a thing and all, on the news and stuff like that, I had no choice. And when I saw the video, I felt my heart hurt. So that's how I knew that I could not be silent about this situation particularly. It was painful to see that in 8 minutes, so now this has opened up something that we need in this world, actually, to expose people to the racial injustice that is also exposing people to the wealth inequality, the racial wealth gap, the systematic inequality just the system period that has not been very good to us people of color. And I believe that great things are going to come out of this. So Fearless Money Inc. is geared towards a time like this where we provide resources and everything for families in this situation. Now, am I a well-off person? You know what? I am, because that doesn't mean that I have to have millions and billions of dollars to be able to voice my opinion. That doesn't mean that I have to be out there protesting with everybody else to play a part in this situation. Because once all of the protesting is over, people have to go back to living their lives, and it's not going to be normal living. And we'll have to go back to getting back into, because with this coming right off of COVID-19 happening, people aren't thinking anymore about the jobs being lost and, the financial system of this world right now, or even their own lives. People are stuck in the fact that Black Lives Matter, they killed him, police brutality, but life is going to continue after this, and people have to still maintain their lives and their families. So even after this, like, some things are going to begin to happen, because people are going to get back down to reality and realize that some people are going to feel like the well-being of their lives is worse than COVID-19, or worse than being out there protesting. They're going to feel like they have nothing to live for, because no money, they can't maintain the lifestyle, or whatever the case may be. Financially, they're not going to be able to maintain, and it's going to break a lot of people down and families apart and stuff like that. So this is what Fearless Money is geared towards: keeping people sane. And we're a company that is going to be accepting funds and resources and things like that to be able to keep families together, to provide life coaching and therapy and financial coaching, and even funds to help people be able to get therapy and counseling, and start businesses, and not necessarily pay their bills, but start a business for your family, so you can provide for them. Because now a lot of people are also realizing that business that they should have started, this is what it would have been for. So, and I'm not talking like I wasn't in that situation, but I know what God is calling me to do. So hey, it is what it is. We live and we learn, and this is how I want my voice to be heard during this time, because life goes on after this, and we're going to have to maintain. Nobody's going to give us money. We're out there protesting, but not saying that nobody's going to give us money. I take that back, because yes, we are going to receive money. But a lot of people are going to just have such a hard time, because they don't have the money that they need, and they don't have the resources that they need, and they don't have the therapy and the mental counseling and stuff like that. So they're going to lose their mind, and families are going to, it's just going to be crazy. So that's where my voice is going to go, because I have to think about my family and how we're going to maintain after this. There's no new normal. There is a new life after after these first 6 months of this situation. So no new normal. There is new life. Nothing will ever be the same. So that's just what it is, y'all. But anyway, I'm out of here. Remember to glow. Remember to affirm yourself. Remember to do what makes you happy, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. You can't. So see you guys in the next video.